So my plan tonight is to read at least one poem from each section of each of my two books. So I'm going to start with my first full-size book. I had a chapbook in 2007, and then my full-size book, No Father Can Save Her, came out in 2011. So I'm going to start with that one. This book has an arc. It's sort of autobiographical. My father died in 1964 when I was going on 12 years old. And so it starts out of that trauma and evolves through being moved to the city with my mentally ill mother, and then age revolution in New York. And so it's sort of drugs, rock, and sex, and drugs, sex, and roll, rock and rolls and sex, as a lot in this book. But it's a fun book. There's a lot of music in it too. So I'm going to start with section 1, which is Girl Watches. So Girl Watches is the section, and the poem I'm going to read is A Pink Carnation for Daddy, but I Want Red. When you were alive, a father full-fledged, when you tobogganed down the hill, wrapping me in your arms, shouting your joy, your smile was a cup overflowing from my heart. The empty days without you, the dredged sorrow of your funeral that hot August. My tears, the empty sky, as the eyes of my mother who carried the red carnation to throw on your grave that day. I had to be watered down, had to throw the pink carnation. I ran and ran to the lake. Daddy, I miss you. The clear water was still. The second section of the book is Female Festers. And I'm going to read a poem that's a pantoum form. And there's about 7 or 8 pantoums sprinkled through this book. It's one of my favorite forms. I don't write a lot of forms either, but I enjoy the pantoum. So this was with Life with Uncle, Lessons from a Surrogate. I entered at the surface afraid. A good Seagram's and ginger ale, Uncle taught me. I explored this world through one man's eyes. Rockettes dancing, single women with long legs. A good Seagram's and ginger ale, 7 and 7, he taught. His martyr caregiver role growing me up fast. Black and white photos, him paired with long-legged women. Difficult years, still a child in penny loafers. His caregiver martyr role growing me. Teen trouble acting out, tottering on too high heels. Difficult years, still a child toting scratchy legs. He walked me into steakhouses to show me the good life. Through those troubled years acting out, hung over in diners, my eyes hungry met the eyes of men. Walking into steakhouses, he said, a man will bring you here someday. Eating roast beef, I eyed the counterculture. He spit warnings. Hung over in diners, he told me, never look a man in the eye. I ate roast beef watching the counterculture side, always a new surface to enter afraid. Actually, I want to read one more from this section that has a musical piece to it that I like. It's called Truant, and in fact, not everything in the I poem is accurate. There's fictional elements, but I indeed had a year of severe truancy. And it was, I think, it was definitely sophomore year. So this is Truant. Sophomore year, we flattened pennies on old railroad tracks. Best friends We longed for lovers, traded old boyfriends. Back in those no soap, no radio, easy over days. West Village, full of color, splashed us bright, transformed into the graffiti side of an IRT. How good a cappella sounds in a park with sweet wine. Too brief this stretch, waffled over warnings, finish school. Punishment, a quick flip of the egg, but our relish was green. Best friend, beauty, a charm for this homely child. Black light, day glow, garbed, everyone looked good. To think she can be anything she wants to be. That was then, the clock clicking, indiscriminate against tie-dye. Wooed by Smokey, oh, baby, baby. Oh, baby, baby. And not one deadline to meet. Then the third section of this book is Women's Stands. And this is in the final section where she's found love. Snared. Disco nights, full blare blast sound under black light, glass globes circle endless. We blink secret codes. Captured in the dance we play, weave through the crowd, disco groove, our fingers linked. Single file, you follow, we dance, dance, dance. Spiral upstairs to the balcony, above the bar, stare at the big picture. Our pause. We lean on the rail, pulse in our touch. I fall into you, a female colorful bird who's picked her mate from the crowd. You at the end of my snare, chosen, we dance, dance, dance. Donna Summers, our witness, moans our love song. We sing our vows. Love to love you, baby. Love to love you, baby. If you leave, stop the dance, change the rules. I will follow you. We are two. Who snared who? I like the ones with songs in them, as you can tell. It's fun. So now I'm going to switch. This is hot off the presses. Literally, this arrived in the mail on Friday. And my book celebration party is going to be on April 9th. That's a Sunday coming up in 2 weeks from 4 to 6. And it's going to be packed. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have invited 9 people from both the poetry world and the HIV and AIDS world to come together and each read one poem for the first half, and then I'll be reading in the second half. And it's so the name of this book is Truth Be Bold, Serenading Life and Death in the Age of AIDS. And I was an AIDS case manager for 18 years and worked in the field for 21 years and have a long history of going to ACTUP meetings before I moved to Seattle back in New York in the early days of the epidemic. So this is my my full-size book, about 100 pages. So I'm going to read from this one poem from each section. And the first section is, who would you tell? And the poem is called Walking for AIDS. And my first, just an addendum, my first chapbook was about HIV and AIDS, and there's some poems in here are from that book, but not a whole lot. This is a lot of new work, and in the past year I've written a whole bunch of new poems inspired by the HIV Here and Now project. So that was inspirational to me to pull this together and get it out there, and I'm really pleased it's been published. Walking for AIDS. I step into an army of marchers. I am already fatigued, defeated, returning home from a long war. Some can step in and out, but when one is infected, there is no exit. I step into the long journey of marchers. We grieve our losses in full regalia. We each carry lists of our dead. We are expendable. My fellow marchers keep getting younger. There are more blacks, Hispanics, and women than ever before. Some refuse to join this army, but they have been drafted into it. They stand on the periphery, denying they belong here. We marchers are the lucky ones, fighting and walking bravely into a bleak future. Some bring their whole dysfunctional families. Others come alone, seeking camaraderie, support from the crowd. We choose to believe one another, pair up to tell our stories. We move forward, trying to find a cure, create a vaccine, find alternatives and Western medicines to add to our arsenal. There are scientists, doctors, lawyers, and researchers who walk long and tired. There are social workers, therapists, psychiatrists, and chemical dependency professionals rising out of their addictions, carrying others. There are even politicians making laws for and against us. There are whole armies of bystanders. Some cheer us on, others picket or carry bombs. Among us there are dissenters, those who will not protect themselves, self-destructive suicide bombers, who have no moral sense of right and don't care, sociopaths, antisocials, who see no future in the human race. There are dancers too, healers and visionaries, massage therapists, poets and writers of all kinds. Many of us have written miles of work and have miles to go. This is a well-beaten path with a bushwhacking future. It is near impossible to see anything but a stereotypical bleak ending. The map makers among us have the most unseemly job. They're charting overthrown or ignored, laughed at or disdained. Still, we continue every effort to map a new ending. Come, walk with us. The second section in this book is titled, How Have You Helped? And this comes out of my work. It's titled Little T. Little T did time, didn't say for what. His head a shrunken dark blot, riding on top of a big white jacket. He answers questions proper with his New Orleans, yes ma'am, Southern speak. He means respect to a social service lady holding a key to survival. Ground up in a Texas jail, living with AIDS, he moved north after Katrina. I got him a cot at the shelter. He waits for housing. Stops in daily to check. What will you do when you get your voucher? Get an apartment, ma'am. Get my GED. Talk to kids in schools. Tell them how to get cleaner than a broke dick dog, just like me, ma'am. Breaks my heart, literally. And this section is, Who Have You Lost? And this is It's not dedicated, but this is for a man that trained me when I was first working. His name was Jim Nesbitt, so its title is just Jim. And, well, I'll just read the poem. Jim loved trains. On his birthday, friends take a special train with his urn, scatter his ashes in his favorite mountains of Oregon. Jim loved sour cream lemon pie, coconut cream pie. He ate at Dahlia's, drank a fine wine. When he became too nauseated to eat, he had a plan and a secret stash. Certain losses no one can tolerate. Jim loved to travel south, visit fields of iris. He bought bulbs and planted them in his garden. Today, I am blessed with yellow iris in full smile. On my table, they gather love from the sun, remind me of Jim. The last section in the book is how do you survive? Because we all have to survive, no matter what our problems are in life, what our illnesses are in life. We all have to survive. So this is one where I go inside and think about the virus. It's called Reflections on HIV. It won't roll over, play dead for its host. It is ignorant about your foreclosure or that favorite car you bought back when you considered yourself employable. It doesn't appreciate your pleasure, how you enjoy walking barefoot on the beach. It won't do daily tasks, organize its pill box with prescription antiretrovirals, make sure you eat the right amount of fat. It adores a tall pina colada that suppresses your T cells. Certainly, it never reminds the immune system of its job. It is preoccupied with replicating, surging by the billions through your body, selfishly living. Actually, it's selfishly thriving, but it could be either. Selfishly thriving. But it is not smart enough to realize it causes its own death. Hidden stowaways, sly viral RNA particles stored, wait in lymph nodes, spinal fluid, the brain. It adapts into mutant forms. Multicultural. They turn your body against itself. Mitochondria die, cheeks curve inward hollow from the inside out, toes turn numb. Deformities accelerate. You try alternative therapies, but it is no use against this mammoth that teaches the secret of life, the impermanence of time. In calculations for life expectancy, it speeds up the formula. It is the great awakener to fate, traveling with your body to its own bitter end. Both books are for sale. If you're interested, I have some copies here. Thank you so much.